Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Okay, so we are seeing those different values. Jnana sadhanam, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam. This much we saw last time. Any questions, clarification, or they're simple enough? Okay. Okay. Then the next one is.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, I missed the last couple of classes. So can you just tell me?
Yeah.
Chapter.
See, chapter 13. Yeah, you had to travel a lot last to this thing. I remember that. Yes. We are doing the verse 7, where here Arjuna had asked the question in terms of what is jnanam. One of the questions was, what is jnanam? And knowledge has been talking about all these. Every chapter is talking about knowledge, self-knowledge. Therefore, he takes that question to mean, what will help you gain knowledge? What is those values in the mind that will help you gain the knowledge? We have seen it differently as Viveka, Vairagya, etc.
Correct.
So the same thing is a little bit from a different perspective he is talking about as 20 values.
Oh.
If you have that, the knowledge can settle in you. If you don't have that, the strength of the traditional teaching can give you insights, but it will be difficult for you to integrate that knowledge into your life. That will be a difficult thing. Therefore, he talks about amanitvam, adambitvam. To quickly sum up, manitvam is atmani pujatva bhavaha. You have the qualifications, you deserve respect, but you start demanding it from everyone. Absence of that is called amanitvam. Where you demand respect, you may get it, you may not get it. And if you don't get it, you will be upset. If you get it, it may go to your head. Adambitvam. Dambitvam is putting on a front for the sake of being appreciated, respected, etc. Adambitvam is absence of that. Both together is also tied up with your self-esteem. If you have a healthy self-esteem, this is natural for you. If you don't have a healthy self-esteem, then it's natural to have manitvam and dambitvam. Not absence of them, presence of them. Why? Because I don't respect myself enough, therefore I want respect from other people. I'm not happy unless others respect me, appreciate me, etc. Now, some amount of it all of us have, okay? I mean, we like it if somebody respects us. We like it if somebody appreciates us. That is natural. Okay? I don't like people behaving disrespectfully with me. That normal human thing is one thing. But that excess that comes in. Yeah. The dambitvam, we have all seen people like that. People who put on a front, you never know what they are talking and meaning. It's all about self-promotion all the time. Everything is about self-promotion. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. You don't value yourself enough as you are. Yeah. You have to bluff about what you are doing, everything. Yeah. So, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, of course. Not hurting someone else deliberately. Kshanti, accommodation. Arjavam, integration of personality, etc. All this we saw elaborately. Okay. Then Acharya Upasanam. Next one. You know, Suresh Balakrishna's wife Sunita has written a nice article on Acharya Upasanam in our newsletter. Okay. Sandhya has not been in touch for some time. Sandhya, send me your email address and I will put you on and you will get the newsletter also. Yeah. Yes. So, this newsletter she has written very nicely about Acharya Upasanam. So, please refer to that. Yeah. It's a very, very well written article. Okay? And I'm sure all of you are getting the newsletter. If in case you find that you are not, just check up your spam also, because any mass email that we sent, your spam filter, which is automatically inbuilt, may send it to the spam folder. So just check that up also. Okay. And I also put up the registration details for the camp. Please register. Okay. For the camp, it is a weekend camp, which is easy. We have geared it, the timing in such a manner that you will have enough time for lunch, breakfast preparation, all that you will have. We have geared it like that because it's online. Anyway, so Acharya Upasanam. Okay. Literally means service to the teacher. Okay. Upasana almost is like worship. Okay. Personally, the teacher does not need it. Yeah. If someone were to come and ask me, Swamiji, what personal seva I can do for you? I'm saying, what? It's a running household. Yeah, it's not perfectly run like your homes. Because the woman's touch is not there to keep it spick and span. And my old habits from the Navy has been dropped. But it's fine, it's running, it's okay, it's fine. Then what requires that service? The work. If you're going to reach out, do things, then you need help for that. Yeah. Though very often, until the last Chembur class we started, very often I've been going and setting up everything myself. Okay. Talking to people, hey, I want to take a class. What about the hall, this, that, all that business. Yeah. Which can be done. But as if things have to grow and more people have to benefit, which is every teacher's responsibility, actually speaking, then for that, you need to do something about it. What is the advantage for the student in this? One can be called from a social angle, the other from the personal angle. Socially, it would mean that your children and grandchildren will have teachers to help them if they want it. Why? Because the parampara will move forward. What about you personally right now? When you do Acharya Upasanam, Guru Seva, you know, when two people work together, do things together, you understand each other's minds very well. You know, what the person is good at, what the person is reluctant at. Like Suresh and Sunita has been helping me with a lot of stuff. They will at once tell me, tell all of you, and I'll be okay about this being revealed. Suresh, how am I about asking for money from people?
Very reluctant.
Very reluctant. Naturally, I am. That is, you can call it a strength, a weakness, whatever you want, but it is there. Now, how does he understand it so well? Because we have done things together. He knows I am reluctant about it. Well, Guru Dakshina, which I can claim as a right, I don't claim. I hesitate. I am reluctant. Now, you understand the teacher's strengths and weaknesses. You understand what he is good at. You understand where he is coming from. And the teacher also understands where the student is coming from. Yeah. Where the student is coming from. You understand that. Because you are doing things together. When two people work together, you understand each other very well. Sometimes even more than romantic partners. All guys in the corporate will be thinking, is that true? Yeah, there is a truth in it. Yeah.
No, definitely there is a truth in it.
Yeah. Why? Because that emotional entanglement is not there. But working together is there. So you are quite fairly objective. The only in Acharya Upasanam that can go out of place, if you are putting the teacher on a pedestal, then that may be a little bit of a this thing. But otherwise, it will work well. So, in this Guru Seva, as we traditionally call it, okay, my commitment increases. Therefore, my devotion increases. And my commitment to the knowledge also grows. I generally find I can respect the teacher also better. Why? Because you see, there is a certain amount of integrity. He is walking his talk. He walks his talk. You see that. It is not just for talking, it is there. Yeah, it is there. Yeah. You see that. Therefore, your respect goes up. Yeah. Things doesn't work out. It's okay. Lord's will. Finished. That's it. So you recognize that. Hey, if he is doing it, I can do it. I'm telling you, when I went to the ashram, I didn't have a great sense of devotion to Ishvara and everything. I had, yeah. But, or to sit and sing bhajans and do puja part, etc., etc. I didn't have it. Really, honestly, I'm saying. I'm revealing something about it. I didn't have it. And people would love to hear my Guru's bhajans. Yeah. So I would go and he started singing and everything, and people around him are singing. I'll hang around for some time, then go finish some other thing, come back after 15-20 minutes and see it's still going on. Hang around for 5 minutes, again go, come back after 15-20 minutes. This was me. This was me. But Guru Seva was high. If he said anything had to be done, it would be done. That is it. No questions asked. So that was my sense of bhakti. Yeah. And this was there before I joined the ashram, and when I went through the Gita, I found, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. Acharya Upasana. Not that singing bhajans with him is not the right thing. I'm not saying that, please. That's another form of seva. Like many of the bhajans that Swamiji composed has come out because of one lady. Used to call her Lakshmi Mami because her name was Lakshmi. Okay. She would sit in front of Swamiji, elderly lady. Okay, she would sit in front of Swamiji and say, Swamiji, something about Shiva, no? Something about Shiva. And say, what do you want about Shiva? No, a few lines about it. So Swamiji will compose 2-3 lines. Swamiji, this is incomplete. Charanam is not there. This is whatever structure that you have to give. I don't know. So in 2-3 days, Bho Shambho was done. Bho Shambho, which is so popular. This was done like that. Ganapati Bajame was done like that. All those compositions came out only because a couple of people would sit in front of him and ask him. Not otherwise. There is another form of seva. People like me would help in the work seva. This is another form of seva. Yeah. Carrying on the parampara is another form of seva. The teaching. Yeah. As a student, learning well is another form of seva. Benefits you, benefits the teacher also. Learn well. Integrate that knowledge into your life. That's one of the best forms of seva. Because when you work together, your minds meet. It helps. It helps. There are various people at various stages help me with various things, among my students. Some of them are here. And they all know how their understanding was when they were helping me with things. Even simple things like downloading a text from the net and putting all the translations in place so that all this, it could be photocopied and distributed to all the students. There was this young lady who would do that. Yeah. I'm sure in all those things her understanding would have been much better. I'm sure of that. So much so that if circumstances require you move away from the knowledge, the knowledge will always pull you back. Why? That seva that is there, that will pull you back, it will come. This is one of the beautiful things about seva. Doesn't allow you to move too far away from the knowledge. You'll come back. Circumstances can pull you about. Life is like that. I remember one young man who listened to me teaching his friend's elder sister. And he would say, Swamiji, you want anything done? I'll get it done for you. And this and that. He was a young engineering student at that time. And then when he listened to this class, he said, Swamiji, this is so beautiful. I want to learn it. But I'm too caught up with engineering. I will come back after I finish my engineering. And believe me, that little seva that he did pulled him back after he finishes the engineering. Along with his career, this, that, etc., I would listen to me. Now, I'm deliberately not mentioning names, okay? I'm keeping that part of it private. Because I don't want to embarrass the people who are there, okay? Yeah. Acharya Upasanam. Your minds will be meeting, they will be in harmony. I mean, I can go on and saying about it, but as an Acharya, for me to say Acharya Sevanam is a little, okay? Dicey thing. So, all of you read that article, okay? That has come in the newsletter, Arsha Vidya Bharati. Okay? It's a very well written article. She has done a damn good job. Okay? And she and Suresh helped you a lot with this whole thing about finding a place and all that stuff. Even with the Vedic Wisdom Festival, it wouldn't happen if both of them were not there. It wouldn't happen. It's like that. I mean, it will happen, but not the way it is happening. Yeah. So, Acharya Upasana becomes an important value for Jnana Sadhana. Okay, yeah. Because it also, that seva expresses my willingness to do what it takes. This is very much highlighted in Zen monasteries, etc. You know, in a Zen monastery, it's not easy to get admission into a Zen monastery. Normally the gates will be closed. Not like our ashram, the gates are wide open, at least during the day you can walk in and walk out. No, it's closed. Then, if you're a visitor, you go and knock, they'll allow. But if you want to be as a student there, then there's a small, tiny little room. You go into that room and you ring the bell. And then you wait until you're called in. How long? 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 2 days. You wait. You just wait. Then they'll admit you, call you in. Sir, I have come to study this, that. They'll give you a broom, a long broom. Please sweep. Where? Monastery. Whole monastery, okay? Few acres, all the roads, etc. You sleep from all the fallen leaves. Everything. How long? You sweep. Of course, 2 meals a day. That is the norm in the Zen monasteries. So 2 meals a day, you have a place to sleep. A place to sleep is a place to sleep, not like our ashrams. An ashram, you're given a room or maximum 2 people in a room. Zen monasteries are not like that. You literally have a place to sleep. That's all. Then, how long? It goes on. So you're sweeping, okay? And you try to speak to any of the monks. That's all. They walk away. Then one of the senior monks will walk towards you after about a few months. And then you bow down to him and say, Sir, I have been wanting to learn this, that. Oh, you want to learn Zen? Okay. Then they'll initiate you into another activity. Okay. Sweeping is over. 6 months of seva before you are even accepted. You can sit in a class. Otherwise, you can't even sit in a class. Otherwise, don't come. Don't join the monastery. No problems. Go, live. That is why in a Zen monastery, you will always find committed students. You will never find a slack student. In our ashram, sometimes we find it and we have to literally, okay, I'm not saying what, plant my boot on their back. Zen monastery, you won't find it. Jokes apart, okay? The value of Acharya Upasana, it shows your commitment. I am willing to do what it takes to study. Why? Because later on, sadhana, the study itself is a sadhana. It can get tough. Can get tough. In public, the Gita is all smooth flowing, okay? But now in one of my class, my Bandra class, okay? Once we can meet offline, I am going to start some little bit more advanced texts. And that's not going to be easy. Going to be easy, yeah. Yeah. So, those things will happen, okay? Those things will happen. So, what about those who cannot follow? Don't worry, Indian teachers have a lot of compassion. We'll have something else for them, so not a problem. Yeah. Those who can't stand the rigor of that advanced this thing, not a problem. We'll go back to the Upanishads or something like that. By that time, this class also would have graduated to the Upanishads and everything. Yeah. So, this is Acharya Upasana. Okay. Read the article. I don't want to elaborate too much on that. Next one is Shaucham. Shaucham, cleanliness. Okay. External cleanliness, hygiene, etc. you have heard enough of. Right from school onwards. With the pandemic, even more. In 2020, we thought we will be colonizing the moon. And here we are making videos on washing your hands. So, external Saucham, you all know. Cleanliness inside is what the main thing is. Saucham. Many of us carry too much of emotional baggage. Hurt, pain, guilt, anger, sorrow, resentment. We carry a lot of them. Natural. You can't live 20 years in Bombay or any of the majors in today's world anywhere without having some of it. How can you? Ask your children. You say, what 20 years? At 10 years I have it. I have a lot of anger. By 10, at 5 they will tell you. At 5 they will tell you. Yeah. So, this is natural. 2 emotions out of this are universal. One is hurt with respect to what has been done to me by others. The perceived unfairness of behavior. It is there. All of us are carrying some hurt. And some guilt. If you are a sensitive human being, you will recognize that I have also not been very fair to people around me. Therefore, some guilt. Hurt and guilt is natural. And if hurt is there, some anger also is natural. Some resentment is natural. Some grief is natural because you can't live until 20, 30 years, etc. without loss. Loss of people, loss of things, etc. So some grief is there. Grief can also express as anger. So all this has been pushed into our subconscious if you are not dealt with it. This becomes the inner muck, the inner problems, which I have to clarify. Therefore, Saucham. The website, I think there is something about grief recovery also there. Yeah. Dealing with your minds. It's a psychological process. You don't need Vedanta for that. You have to look at it psychologically. Hurt, pain, guilt, etc. has to be dealt with. having Ishvara in your life will help you in that. Okay? Because Ishvara can be looked upon as the ultimate therapist. Okay? Yeah. In fact, there is one of Pujya Swamiji's students, an Australian. His name is Beat Clifford. He has focused only on the psychological aspects of what my teacher has talked about, and he calls it the Dayananda School of Psychology. Very popular, very effective. We are rebranding it as the Indian psychology, the Indian perspective of psychology. Because how do you deal with hurt, pain, guilt? How you bring in Ishvara into your life to deal with all of them? Okay. Whereas there you have to understand Ishvara as a cosmic order. That is a final freedom from it. Before that, some psychological work will help in this. Okay. So this will be always, this is why every student at some time or the other will have a one-on-one with the teacher. It is in this one-on-one that these are dealt with. Okay, yeah. One-on-one or as a couple also, because some issues are dealing with you all as a couple. Don't tell me there is no hurt or guilt with respect to if you are a couple. Couples have come to me together and afterwards both of them have said, Swamiji, can we meet you separately? Because certain things I can't talk in front of him or front of her. Natural. Natural. But aren't we as a couple meant for, this couple came on the verge of divorce. Why? Because they were insisting that our love is strong. We can talk to each other and deal with it. We can talk to each other and deal with it. Doesn't happen. What if the other is the source of your sorrow, your grief, your anger, and vice versa? Then you need to talk about it with somebody else and then come back and help each other with it. That's how the game goes. Why? A marriage is meant for maturity. Very true, Swamiji. He has to grow up a lot. The moment you say that, you also have to grow up a lot, okay? What you are telling is he has to man up. When you tell him he has to grow up, what he hears is I have to man up. That is not growing up. And when you tell her you have to grow up, she is hearing a criticism. A put down. What to do? This is how it works. I didn't make the rules, okay? I only understand them and help them. This is the order of how our brains and minds, etc., evolved. That's how it is. Yeah. So this Saucham, inside clearing of all that emotional baggage, is called Saucham. When these things remain as my background, but this thing doesn't remain as a problem for me. It's a background, that's it. Yeah. I had a problematic relationship. One. Okay, half a dozen, fine. But it's okay, I have dealt with it, I'm at peace with it. If you're really dealt with, okay? Yeah. How are your parents? Swamiji, why do you have to ask about that? I really believe, I really believe. God gave me my relatives, thank God I can choose my friends. Yeah. Honestly, I believe that. Why? Because sometimes you are born in families like that. Now what do you do? Deal with it. Take care of this. All of us carry some emotional baggage from our growing up. Most of it you can examine and deal with it yourself. Go to my website. There is a section on self-esteem, and there is a section in self-esteem about childhood messages. I will cover it in a nutshell right now. Here is a 3-year-old child, first day of school. let me talk in terms of a little bit stereotyping, okay? But it helps to understand. Mother is getting the child ready, the grandfather is going to take the child to school and bring him back. Beta, be very careful. Don't run here and there. Before doing anything, always ask the teacher. Okay, be very careful, okay? You'll remember, no? Don't do anything without asking the teacher. Be careful. The child is 3-year-old. Mother is saying out of love. Can you expect any mother not to say out of love? Then what is the catch? The catch is the mother's love is contaminated with fear and her insecurities. In 2 minutes, she has repeated, be careful 3-4 times. How does the child hear it? The message you gave seemed loving. The message the child received, be careful, be careful, be careful. Oh my God, world is dangerous. And worse, I can't handle it. But isn't that true? Isn't the world dangerous for a 3-year-old? Yeah, the adult world is dangerous. But the adult world, the child doesn't have to deal with it. The grandfather is going up and down. No? If the grandchild is 3-year-old, grandfather may be 50, 60, fit enough to deal with the world, no? Adult world. So which world does the child have to deal with? The world of the play school. What is that? You go there, you play, you sing, you make friends, you fight, you cry, you catch a nap, and then you come back. Eat something and come back. Which 3-year-old cannot do this? A 3-year-old is fully competent to handle a 3-year-old's world. But the message he has received is, it is dangerous and you can't handle it. It is not a loving message, it has become a smothering message. How many mothers will send the child to school, play school, and say, go, have some fun, climb a tree, play with the other kids. If someone hits you, hit him back. Don't worry. कोई बोलेगा ऐसा? Will any mother say that? If a child bullies you, you go and complain to the teacher. What are you doing? Ineffective. He will be bullied even more when the teacher is not looking. Because the worst thing is to be a, what do you call a tattler? Yeah. Chamcha, teacher ka chamcha banta hai. Worst thing. What is worse is mother going to the school to complain about the... Please don't. If you have young children or if you are planning to have children, don't do that. Make the kid strong enough to deal with it. Smothering messages, not healthy for the child's growth. It undercuts the self-esteem. Okay, I got hold of the mother enough. Let me catch hold of the father for a change. I have to be fair, no? Let us say this child is growing up now, he's in 5th standard, 10-year-old. First unit test exam, he has passed in all subjects, got 10th rank and about 70% marks. He's happy. The teacher said, you're good. He's happy. He's coming home. Waiting for dad to come home. And, daddy, here, please sign my report card. I have to show it to the teacher tomorrow. Here, see? And the dad looks at it, not bad, yeah, this is quite good. Not bad. But what does he tell the child? Typical Indian parent, okay? 10th rank. Yeah. Is this a rank to come? Why not 5th? And the child was so happy, etc. Face falls. Why? 5th is not. Okay, daddy. I will study hard. Because the 10-year-old still wants to please the father, you know. It takes another 2-3 years for the rebellion to come in. Says, okay, I will study hard and next. So the poor kid studies hard. And second unit test, he comes out 5th. Today daddy will be happy. Today daddy will be thrilled. I got it. And as soon as the daddy comes on, daddy, 5th rank, see, this is what you wanted, I got it. Dad is thrilled. He looks at 5th. Eh? Koi rank hai? Why not 3rd? And the child's face falls again. If the child is a rebellious kid like me, he would have said, ye pehla bolne ka tha na. Should have told me this before, na. Why now? But the poor kid, he still wants this thing, so terminal exams, he studies hard, etc., comes out 3rd. He'll be cut it short a bit. Same response from the father. 3rd? Why not 1st? The child keeps quiet, doesn't say anything. And now the final exam, the father is more excited for the result than the child. And he comes home, result aaya? Hey, show me. He thinks, see, from 10th to 5th it worked, 5th to 3rd it worked, 3rd to 1st also it will work. "Ah, 25th, ye kya ho gaya?" Exactly like the father. The rank matches what the father had also done. Why? The father loves the child, wants the child to improve. But the methodology was so critical that the child decided, whatever I do, father will not be happy. Because the message is critical. It tears down your sense of self-efficacy, your sense of self-respect. It tears it down. And what do you get? A rebellious child. A child who has decided, whatever I do, daddy will not be happy, then why bother? Chodo na baat. Who is the child I am talking about? All of us. All of us have grown up like this. Correct? In various versions. Maybe the mother was more critical. Maybe the father was more supportive. Whatever. Maybe the parents were different to different children. Usually the father smothers the girls more. The mother smothers the sons more. Very often in an Indian setup. Or it could be the other way around also. The mother is more strict with the child, with the girl child. Especially if you are in a North Indian family. ससुराल में जाएंगे इतना गुस्सा कैसे दिखा सकता है? No, must have heard the statement, na? Those of you are North Indians here. 10-year-old kid, ससुराल में जाएंगे तो इतना गुस्सा कैसे दिखा सकता है? अरे 10 साल का बच्ची है, क्या बात कर रहा है ससुराल का? Doesn't understand anything. We are all carrying this baggage of growing up. Thank God there were nurturing messages of unconditional love. We received that also. Structuring messages where instead of telling why not 3rd, why not 5th, etc., the father sat down and showed us how to achieve, how to work towards goals and things like that. These are structuring messages. A class is part of a structuring message. Teaching the child how to perform better. That is different from demanding things out of the child by criticizing his performance. Two different things altogether. So in all this baggage, we all are carrying in our heads. We have to tune out. And they play in our heads. I'm telling you, even if you are 50, even if you are 50, if you are not dealt with it, they will play in your heads. As tapes they will play. A simple example I can give you. You and your friend. When your friend makes a mistake, what do you tell your friend? Two choices given, okay? A and B. A is, you're a stupid idiot, you deserve a kick on your back. Or B, it's okay, yaar. Many of us can play. No, I'm sure you'll be able to handle it and do it better time. If you want any help from me, please let me know. What will you tell your friend, A or B? B? If you fail in a project, what do you tell yourself? Most likely A, na? That means you had a lot of critical upbringing. Lot of critical messages when you were growing up. Deal with it, learn to tune off. Treat yourself exactly like how you treat a friend. How will you treat a friend? Like that, treat yourself. It's important. It's all part of Saucham. Why, if you're critical about yourself and I'm unfolding your Ananda, etc. And let us say, so there are some areas where you find it a little difficult to understand. Oh my God, I am not a good student. I am not capable of understanding this. Everyone else is understanding. Why am I not being able to understand? I was a good student in school, That's okay. This is about life. All of us struggle with the understanding. I also have struggled. Big deal. A bad student becomes a good teacher. Why? Because you know where you struggled. And you can share that with your students. Not a problem. Yeah. All this baggage one has to deal with. Okay? With whatever psychological process. Now the awareness of psychology is huge in the society. So you can deal with it. You can take a friend's help. You can take professional help. You can take a counselor's help. I am available 24/7 for all my students. Yeah. Anytime, and any issue, all you have to do is pick up a phone and call. I'm just a phone call away, whichever part of the world you are in. Okay. And believe me, I do receive calls from all over. Okay. Yeah. So Saucham. That is another value. Any questions on this, or shall we do one more? Okay. Next is Thairyam. Amanitvam Adam Bitvam Ahimsa Kshanchir Arjavam Acharya Upasanam Stairyam. Shaucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha. Acharya Upasanam Saucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha. That's how it goes. Stairyam. Stairyam is your being steadfast in what you do. Swadharma Nishtaha. In whatever you have to do, you don't give up at the sign of first trouble. You stick to it. You stick to it. You do what it takes. You do what it takes. Yeah. So dharme nishta, commitment. And you sticking to it. The ability to stick on. It's an act of will? Yep. It's an act of will. You developed your will to an extent that if you can hold on, when the muscles and sinews are long but gone, and there is nothing left but the will that says hold on, then you are a man, my son. Rudyard Kipling, if. I learnt it as a schoolboy and I loved it. I said, yes, sir. Yeah, Thairyam. Because, people say when you start at doing something good, there will always be obstacles. Why when you are starting to do something good? When you do something bad also there are obstacles, okay? Obstacles are always there. They are not obstacles, they are challenges to make you grow. So listen, deal with them creatively. But for that, you need to have that will. And will is not a question of how strong you are, how powerful you are. It's a very interesting comment in the Mahabharata. Okay. In the Mahabharata, Draupadi Swayamvara is happening. Okay. So all the warrior princes have tried and failed in their attempt to shoot that. Okay. That fish that's spinning around and you have to target the eye by looking in a pool of water below. You can't even look up. Only a master bowman can do that. In fact, there were only a couple of people in the world at that time who could do that. So when these people have failed, there is a lull. That time Arjuna was in the enclosure meant for scholars and priests and what was called in those days as Brahmanas. He was there in that enclosure. So he stands up. So others try to pull him down. Don't. These warriors have failed. You'll make a fool of yourself. What are you doing? Because anyone present in a Swayamvara can make an attempt. So an old Brahmana says, let him be, let him be. Right? A Brahmana may live on roots and fruits, but he can have a will as strong as any warrior. Which is true. Your will does not depend upon your diet or your lifestyle. Will can be cultivated by anyone. How do you cultivate your will? By doing what it takes. By doing difficult things. Now it's easier if you face challenges in life. But day-to-day living also requires some will, no? To stick to your dharma. When things are going wrong, to stick to what you have to do. It is easier to imagine an adventure situation or a warlike situation or something like that. True. But look at the will of those doctors who have been working 18 hours a day in the pandemic. Most of them have not had a holiday. We are cribbing, we are cooped up at home, we have not had a break. They have been working. Most of you have been handled by students who are doing their MD. And during the break, when the wave is over and before the next wave starts, they have to study for their exams. They can't go on a holiday. They're still working in the hospital and studying for their exams. Doesn't that not require a will? 6 to 8 hours in that PP suit, you know what it takes? The PPE suit is not easy to work in. Do you think they feel like eating after that? But they have to eat something. Otherwise you will fall ill. Oh, I recovered from COVID, but I am feeling tired, so I'll take a few more days rest at home. The doctor cannot say that. He cannot take few more days rest at home. In fact, quarantine is only for a week, for 10 days for them. Then they get back to work. They're feeling tired. Yeah, correct. But we work. All the time I praise the warrior, let me praise the doctor for a change. What do you think it takes to be a young mother, a homemaker? Look after the child, look after the home. Doesn't it take will? Sleepless nights. Plus listening to all stupid advice. You should sleep when the baby sleeps and get up when the baby is awake. When is that? The baby sleeps, you think, let me quickly finish this and go catch a nap. By the time you finish that, the baby is up. I know, I brought up 2 pairs of nephews and nieces. I know what it takes. And the nights that my niece would cry, I would insist that the child sleeps with me, not with my sister. But she's a young mother, she gets anxious. I don't get anxious, the baby sleeps happily with me. But it takes something to do that. Why, when the baby is sleeping with me, the baby is sleeping on my chest, face down. I can't turn left or right. Sleep in one position whole night, not a problem. I slept on the branch of a tree. I can sleep there. What is this then? This is comfort. Will, you develop your will, so the problems don't become big. You are bigger than the problems. Of course there are this thing. There's one lady here who had COVID, and she would send my blog to me. Swamiji, please check and see whether I can put it in the Bharati Vidyavan magazine. When she had COVID also she did that. That's the will. The thing to do your duty, your work in spite of the problems. Yeah. Great. Another lady with COVID put up my videos. I didn't even know she had COVID. She didn't tell me. Yeah, I uploaded on YouTube and she did some little editing work and made it public. I didn't even know she had COVID. She didn't even tell me that. I told her, you deserve a spanking. At least you should have told me. I would have found an alternative. I said, no, I can do it, Swamiji, no problem. Great. She's a yoga teacher. Yeah. The other is Meera Nair. Okay. Yeah. So, what I am trying to say is that stairyam, these are the values that you have. And you cannot have that without stairyam, I think Atma Vinigraha, self-mastery, okay? Yes, Atma Vinigraha. You have mastered your mind. You are not subject to moods. If mood comes, aaj mood nahi hai. What mood? You start doing all, the mood will come. Really? You think there are days when I don't think I am in mood? There are days na. अरे यार आज क्लास लेने कहाँ रहे? Today, अरे heavy day यार, morning इतना अच्छा मेरा बड़ा practice, बहुत अच्छा practice था, but my body is sore at the end of it. Must be getting old. Then I finished my puja, etc. Then I had lunch, etc. I had caught a nap. अभी चाय बैठ के चाय पीता हूँ. 5:30 class is already 5 o'clock. हाँ. मूड नहीं है आज. What do you mean mood नहीं है? Go, start the class, the mood will come in. Naturally it comes in. When I see all bright faces, that's why I want all of you to put on your videos on. Of course there is mood to take a class. Yeah. And believe me, at the end of the class, I find all aches and pains are gone. Why? The energy flows through, no? Achha hai. Yeah. Then people ask me, Swamiji, what are you doing after class? Nothing. Want to meet? We'll just meet. No problems. But you must be tired. What tired? Tiredness is all gone. I got a nap in the afternoon. It's fine. Yeah. Come over, join me for a cup of tea. Or let me go for a walk and stretch my limbs out a bit. Because when you start doing it, that comes. So that's self-mastery. You are not a victim of moods. You have mastered your thinking. Samadama of the sadhana chatushtayam. You have learned to process your thinking. Remember the ABC of thinking? I did that at the beginning of the class. When I started the Gita, remember? One is the event. Second is your thought. Third is your emotions. If your emotion is a problematic emotion, you change your thinking. When you change your thinking, you change your feelings. Yeah. You cannot directly change your feelings. Don't fight your feelings. Handle them by changing your thinking. Thinking you can change because there is a logic there. And if you change that logic, you change your perspective of things. Yeah. Then you change your feelings. Therefore, learning to handle your feelings, learning to handle your emotions, learning to handle your thinking. You recognize your patterns of thinking. What are your patterns of thinking? Are you going deliberately into a negative mood half the time? Are you cheerful and positive most of the times? If you are not, in what way can you change it? What is your pattern? We all of us have a pattern, and these patterns keep changing depending upon what you have been exposed to, etc. Yeah. Is my support to a political party making me hate other things? Yeah, you can't hate. Support, that's fine. No hate. Yeah, not necessary. Support is necessary, yes, to whichever this thing. Okay, luckily elections are not in Maharashtra, but I don't say vote for this party, vote for that party. That is not me. That's individual choice, okay? Yeah. I am not a mullah who will pass a fatwa, all my students should vote for this party. No. You vote according to your choice, your conscience. Listen to that. Your belief systems. And examine those belief systems, don't take it for granted. That's also important. Yeah, that's also important. So, like this, Atma Vinigraha, mastering yourself, inside in terms of sama, externally discipline in terms of dhamma. Some discipline. You would have all learned the value of that discipline in the lockdowns. When you're stuck at home, working from home, if there is no discipline, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Yeah. So to bring in that discipline, to bring in routine into your life, it's not routine, it's part of your discipline. It's not that you get up early in the morning only when you have work. You get up early because that's part of your routine. You get up early and sometimes you sleep late because that's how you're giving yourself and body the extra rest that it requires. I think both ways. There's logic both ways and you go logically about it. We are rational human beings, therefore we go rationally. We don't go only by our feelings. Feelings are important to tell us what is important to us. Feelings are important. They tell me what is important to me. But not moods. Not moods. If you are having a mood regularly, then examine why you are having that mood. You will find there is some issue behind it. Some unresolved issue behind it and deal with that. Therefore, Stairyam and Atma Vinigraha will go together. In fact, if you notice, all the values have a connection. All the values will have a connection. That's why if you get one, a little bit of the extra, if you focus on one and little bit here and there, others will come into you. That's the beauty of it. So 2, 3 you focus on, all the 20s are there with 20 is there with you. But it is mentioned separately so that you can know which area to focus on. Which is what you already have. And what we need. So think about them. Okay. Those who want to listen to my previous videos on Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, etc. is there. We have seen Arjavam, up to the Arjavam we had seen last time, Stairyam and Saucham, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. All three are again connected together. If internal grief, etc. is there, Stairyam is difficult, Atma Vinigraha is difficult. So they all go together. Okay, these three will go together. And let me see if you all are creative enough to find your own groupings also. Don't come and tell me, Swamiji, all 20 go together. Yeah, all 20 go together, it is true. But there are sub-groups in them. Okay, yeah. Naturally, handling your emotion is connected with your self-esteem also. That's why in that website you will find 8 workshops done. Handling emotion is one of them to develop your self-esteem. Yeah. So with that, good place to stop. If there are any, please think it over. If there are any questions, clarification, etc., come back next class with that. Okay. It is not how fast we go that matters, it's how well we understand that matters. It's not what I teach that matters, it's what you understand that matters. Okay. So good place to stop. Om Tat